Hey y'all, it's Cam again. So this will be video 8. Yes, I have to write down my little notes in a book. But anyway, these are letters and correspondence and depositions and grand jury stuff between, well, it's letters and stuff like that between Jeffrey Epstein's attorneys and the prosecutor. But the lawyers for Jeffrey Epstein were trying to discredit some of the victims and saying they were doing bad things on social media. And so you got that there. And then we just read through basically and the allegations against Jeffrey Epstein from one of the victims and her mother. And now it looks like we're fixing to go into maybe the grand jury testimony. I've already gone through some of this, so if it seems like repeated, we may just have to skip it. But anyway, this says Juan Alessi. I guess it's just a file folder. Come on, computer. It's being a pain right now, so hold on. Okay, let's see. Oh, stupid thing. Okay, appearances. On behalf of the state, Dahlia H. Weiss, Esquire, Assistant State Attorney, 401 North Dixie Highway, West Palm Beach, Florida. On behalf of the witness, Donnie Morrell, Esquire, LD Morrell, PA, and then 400 Executive Center Drive, West Palm Beach, Florida. Okay. Also present, Detective Joseph Ricari. He's since passed away. I think he passed away at like the age of 50, which is kind of unusual, but it's weird how all these people in Jeffrey Epstein's orbit, as well as himself, have all passed. It's kind of interesting. But anyway, if you Palm Beach Police Department, and he's the one that was, I think, doing the videotape of Jeffrey Epstein's home in Palm Beach, as well as the not really interrogations, but he was talking to the young victims. There's like 6 or 7 videos of him speaking to these young girls. I think at that time they were all over 18, but a lot of people in the comments were saying things like, there should have been a man or should have been a woman in there. I get it. Totally agree. But I mean, because he was the main point of contact, maybe at that time they didn't realize that they needed to have a female or even a psychologist in there with them, just because of the sensitive nature of the questions he was asking, because talking about panties and vagina and all this stuff. It's like, okay, dude, get a girl in there to help this situation. But anyway, let's go on. So witness Juan P. Alessi, examination by Detective Ricari, no exhibits marked. Sworn statement taken before Susan Schelling, registered a professional reporter and notary public in and for the state of Florida at large in the above case. Thereupon, Juan P. Alessi, having been first duly sworn or affirmed, was examined and stated as follows. Mr. Morrell, I just want to repeat that we're here under the state investigative subpoena that was served on Mr. Alessi, although it was dated for, I believe, Wednesday or something. This is Monday, the 21st, and we are here by agreement. Examination by Detective Ricari. Question, Mr. Alessi, I'm Detective Joe Ricari with the Palm Beach PD. As I explained to you on the telephone, I'm conducting an investigation on a former employer of yours. I just spoke with your wife and she told me you guys worked for Mr. Epstein for 8 years. Yes, she did work for 8 years. I worked longer. I was there before my wife came. Question, before your wife came? I started full time with him on January 1st, 1991, and we both left December 31st, 2002. So I worked 11 years exactly. Prior to that, prior to working full time for him, I worked part time for him on and off basis. What were your responsibilities? In the full time basis, I started as a houseman and became a major domo and butler and everything else, driver, did everything. We both did all the chores in the house, but I was in charge of the house. I was above my wife and above the cleaning crew, the gardeners, pool people. So I was house manager, major domo. Question: you would have been the go-to guy for the house? Yes, and the one who would get the blame. Question: we are talking about Jeffrey Epstein? A, of course. Do you remember the address of the house? 558 El Brio. Was it in the beginning of the street? At the end of the street on the left hand side. We're talking about the same house. During the time that he was here, you prepared the house, did all the chores. Did you do any of the cleaning? Sometimes, many times I did. Last 2 or 3 years, the work was so much that we hire a cleanup crew that came twice a week or once a week. Then it was twice a week. Depends upon his schedule because he did not allow anybody at the house except us when he was in town. So when he was in town, it was just us doing the cleaning and the cooking, the driving, shopping, and everything else. Did you stay on property in the guest house? Yes and no. We had an apartment right across the bridge. We had an apartment in Tower 1550 on Flagler, and we had an apartment at the house. Why would you stay at the house then? We stayed at the house mostly when he was there. When he was not in town, we went home. We went to our apartment. When he was there, it was the job was just too much to go home 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and come back at 5 o'clock in the morning. We would just stay and sleep and get up and work. When he was in town, did he receive a lot of guests at the house? Hold on. It says girlfriend. She was our immediate superior. Did he have girls come over to give massages? Yes. How many massages would he have in a day? Sometimes one, sometimes two, three. Was it the same girl that would come back to do the massage? Yeah, not the same girl. I mean, during 11 years, I probably saw 100, 200 different massage therapists. Did they seem young to you? No, sir. Mostly no. We saw one or two young ones in the last year. Before that was all adults. During the last year when you were working with him, what do you mean that they looked young? Did they look like they were still in high school? I remember one girl was young. We never asked how old she was. It was not in my job. Right, I understand. But I imagine she was 16, 17. In my judgment, she was 16, 17. Where would these massages take place? All the time it was in his room. Sometimes it was in the balcony of his quarters. His room has a wraparound balcony facing the pool, so the massages were in the balcony, outside in the sun, or inside in his bathroom or her bathroom. Would you set up the room for the massages? Many times, yes. He will tell me, set up the room inside my bathroom or in the bedroom or in Elaine's bathroom or outside on the balcony, and I would go and set up, or my wife would go and set up the table. We had a table in every room of the house, the massage tables for the different guests, because not only he got massages, all the other guests got massages too. So we have a table, massage table, in basically every room, guest room. The girls that would come over to do massages, they would massage him first or massage guests. Different times. There were mostly they was his massage. Mostly he would get massages. Would Miss Maxwell be in the room with him while he was getting the massage? We don't know. Apparently, we saw her going upstairs because it was when they went upstairs, they closed his quarters. It had a double door, so it was a door on top of the stairs. I don't know if you've been in the house. And then there's another door going into his room. So it was a long corridor. So everything was closed and nobody saw anything. Would you clean up after? Once in a while, yes, I did. Most of the times I did. I did the cleanup. Did it appear as if there was going to be more than one massage going on in the room? More than one massage? I don't know. It was massages. there were massages because it was a hot oil and it was, this vibrator, the neck vibrators with the long handles, and towels, a lot of towels. We used a lot of towels in the house, used like maybe 40 to 50 towels a day. But every time he goes in the pool, into the pool, it was 2 or 3 towels. Everything had to be cleaned up. I went most of the time to pick up the room and get it ready. Did it ever appear to you that more went on in the room other than a massage? I just imagine I never saw anything, but I imagine there was more than I never saw anything because it was closed doors. It was never done outside. Based on the cleanup, based on the cleanup. At the end, I cannot say there was. At the end, it was a few times that the bed was undone. We make the beds 3 or 4 times a day. And sometimes we went to clean up the massage to put it back, the massage table to pick up the towels, but the bed was undone again. So either he took a nap or he went for a nap. I don't know. Or something else occurred or something else. I cannot. Did the girls, would they bring their own stuff or they would use his stuff? No, we had everything. We had gallons of stuff, different massage oils, different all kinds, different massagers, different stuff. They would buy all over the world different types of for different. It doesn't say what. Okay. Did any of these massagers look like sex toys? At the end, at the last year that we were there, they had like sex toys. Some of them, I can say maybe 3 or 4 occasions that I saw in the sink. They were left out in the sink and just where would he keep these massagers? When I was there, we keep all the stuff in a basket inside Miss Maxwell's closet. It was a big basket about this round, indicating, with the cover on it. And we used to pick up from the towel and just dump it in there. That's it. That's the standard we went through. What sink would you find those massagers in? Mostly in his sink and his bathroom sink. His bathroom sink. Was Miss Maxwell still his girlfriend at that time? Oh, yeah. Still his girlfriend that you know of right now. Yeah, we left. She was still his girlfriend. I don't know now, but she was still there. Why did you leave at the end? It was a hard job. It was an incredible hard job, so demanding. Hours were terrible from 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, constantly on your feet. I got very sick. My health went down the drain. I was diagnosed with cancer, polycythemia, polycythemia, a kind of blood cancer, and we had to leave. It was just too much for me. Sounds like it. Yeah, for me and my wife, we both left. It was very demanding when he was in town. It was terrible, a bad job. Pay was good, but we had enough. I know you guys had a falling out a couple of years ago. I guess you weren't working with him anymore. This would have been in 2003. You guys had a falling out, remember? Yeah, we settled that. That was settled. That was settled with him between us. Was that it was an amicable, it was an agreement, mutual agreement. It was a mistake on my part. Are there any questions you have of me? No, I told you that we just imagined things that could have happened. I used to talk to my wife all day working and under that environment, but we didn't know for sure what was going on. We never heard anything. We never heard a complaint or a girl crying. With these massage girls, especially towards the end, would they come alone or would they come with other people? Mostly they would come alone. It was one girl, one of the young girls, the one I can't think of, that she would bring somebody else. She'd bring other girls, but I didn't even know the names. All of them would go downstairs? Yes. Or would one stay downstairs? Most of the times when the girls came, when that girl came, it was at night. So after dinner, they went to the movies. And by the time they went to the movies, we cleaned up right away and tried to get out of there. And that was about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. After when they came back, I don't know what happened. Our quarters were a different, I don't know if you've been in the house, but our quarters were separate. It's separate. Before that building is new, they build the building in 2000, or 2001. The guest quarters, yeah, the guest quarters before we had an apartment upstairs. They have the laundry and a little office in the bedroom. Yes, that was 2001. Before that, we had an apartment upstairs in their house, in the main house. In the little rooms upstairs across from his master bedroom, right. Was there ever any photographs that you can recall around the girls or around the house? Girls photographs, guest photographs, yes. Were they dressed or were they naked? Most of them were dressed. It was a lot of entertainment in the pool, around the pool area, but most of them were dressed. When was the last time you spoke with Mr. Epstein? The last time I spoke with Mr. Epstein was about a week ago. When you left me the card, I got scared because of the fallout that we had, and I thought it was a consequence of that. And I called and says, Jeffrey, what's going on? What's happening? Because I thought it was an investigation against me on his part. I'm sorry if I gave you that impression. That's why I called him. That's the only reason why that I called. Before I even spoke to you, just when you found the card, when I find the card, I get scared. I said, what's going on now? Why are you bothering me now in my house? That's why I called him. He said, John, there is an investigation going on. I have nothing to talk to you. Or I haven't, yeah, nothing to talk to you. That's it. I said, okay. He didn't give you any information as to, no, not a word. Has anybody else contacted you from Mr. Epstein or his organization, his assistants, his attorney? No, no, no. Anyone that works for his attorney? For his attorney, yes. For his attorney, the present attorney, yes. That was an investigator, that it was investigated on his side. I can't remember his name, but I understand it was from Roy Black's office. That was his attorney, and this investigator, basically asked me the same questions, exactly the same questions. What did I know? What did I know? When did this happen? This happened about 10 days ago, about a week ago, 10 days ago. I'm not sure what date. Was his investigators What's his investigator's name's redacted, I guess. It's the day after I contacted you. Paul, first name Paul. Paul, yes. You have the last name? No. He asked me exactly the same questions. Did he offer you any money? Absolutely not. I would not take it. Did he tell you not to speak to me? No, he says no. He told me not to speak to you. He didn't say that to me. He says, it's your choice. You make that decision. And he says, if you hire a lawyer, you make that decision. And we feel that was important for us. I don't want to be involved with this thing. I'm out of the job 3 years, and that's why we hired Mr. Morrell. He suggested that. Did he ask you if anybody else has been contacted? No. Did he tell you that to call him back after our meeting? No, no. Were you to have any contact with him at any time after our meeting? If I will have a contact, I have no reason for it. I have no reason to call Jeffrey or anybody else. This is over, I hope. Well, Mr. Alessi, this is basically an ongoing investigation. So obviously anything that we discuss hopefully will stay between us because it is still ongoing. I wouldn't want this out until the investigation is complete. It's not going anywhere. Even my kids don't know it. He contacted you after you called Mr. Epstein? Yes. When I called him and I said, Jeffrey, what's going on? He said, John, I don't know what's going on. There's an investigation against me. So then I said, woo, thank God. I don't know what's happening. And then he says, I have an investigator that is investigating the same thing the police department is doing. He's going to contact you. And that was the end of it. I think his name was Paul. I only met him for about 15 minutes, 10 minutes. You met at your house? No, no. I don't want him at my house. We met at Carrabba's restaurant, but it was not open, so we met outside Carrabba's. It took about 10 minutes. Going back to the items that we found in the sink. Can you describe any of those vibrators? I only saw two things. It was a big, I think a vibrator, big indicating this hand. And it was a long, I hate to, I'm sorry. It was long, I think, rubber thing. And there was a thing you used in the back, the vibrator in the back. What color? We always had those, not those toys, vibrators. We have different types, one for the neck, one for the back. You know, the one that has a battery and they move, falls on it, a vibrator. That's it. That's what I find there. I never find anything else. Those two things. Do you remember any names of the girls that might come over for massages? Yes, I remember some of them. From the beginning, from the end, as many as you can remember. As many as I can remember. I know it's been a while. It was Jody, it was Donna, and it was Virginia. It was how many? Virginia, Atlanta. It was also a young girl, but she was not a massage therapist. She came to the house as a friend, I think. I don't think she was a massage therapist. Her name was redacted, I guess, as a matter of fact. She's in a soap opera now. She's a star. Just give me a minute. Nadia Jorlin. There also were men masseuses. There were men too. There were men, a few, not that many, a few. I can't remember. Allison, there was an Allison. There was a Dinah. I think every name, girl's name, in 11 years, I can't remember. That's fine. There were girls coming and going. There were girls traveling with him as massage therapists. They would travel with him all over the world because he was in the plane. He got massages on the plane because I know because I used to supply the oils and the towels for the plane. Would you clean his plane too? No, no. Did you ever travel with him anywhere? No, no. When he went to New York or Arizona or his private island, I've been on his island. I've been as a guest, as a vacation. We just took vacations and I went to his island in the Caribbean. And I've been in New Mexico. I've been at his house in London, but not as a worker, just a vacation. As a vacation, we went to New Mexico for, it was kind of a symposium about how to clean homes. It was this lady who teach all the same house people, housemen, and they invited us to Santa Fe, New Mexico to teach us how to clean homes. That was kind of stupid. How he wanted it to be cleaned? Yes, we didn't get that much. Can you think of anything that I haven't asked you that might be relevant to this? If you go back to the videos, just FYI, there is an actual household manual that these people were given to clean the home, just so you know. Just there's a lot of videos in there. Okay, so I can't think of anything. Basically, it's the same questions that the other investigator asked me. Exactly the same. I wish I could give you more names. Allison, I'm not going to ask you to do that because I know it's been a long time. I can't think of stuff I did last week. It's been a long time. If by any chance you're contacted again by his investigator again for any more questions or anything or any packages that he may deliver to you, they have to go to Mr. Morrell. I was going to say, have him contact your attorney. Mr. Morrell, packages, are we expecting a delivery or something? Detective or Carrie? No, I'm just saying. Mr. Morrell, okay, just making sure there wasn't something I didn't know about. Detective or Carrie, i.e. Gibbs, etc., that kind of thing. The witness, no. Detective or Carrie, I would appreciate a phone call just to give me a heads up. The witness, I do not intend to contact him at all. Detective or Carrie, okay, I appreciate it, and that's it. Therefore, thereupon, the sworn testimony was concluded at 1:05 p.m. So that's the end of that little, like, I guess you could say, deposition for this guy. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and y'all have a good day. If I don't see you, have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.